In the continually shifting needs of a 21st century learning environment, how do we design spaces that allow for innovation? Innovation is a social, collaborative process supported by play, passion, and purpose. This idea is not limited to our early years of education, but happens throughout our careers, no matter how we evolve in our work. Perhaps the social element is the play that happens in the middle, and the passions are these individual things around the perimeter. We experience play when we come together in the middle. Then we step away for a moment to pursue our passions, to discover others' passions, and that dynamic helps to propel us towards our purpose. Perhaps it is a space that allows for flexibility, modularity, and multiplicity of scale. We start out with small clusters. Those clusters combine into a larger whole, becoming a small group, and that small group can open into a larger use space. Essentially, A and B can hang out, and then A and B can become this, or this, or this. The scale of education keeps changing, creating an infinite bleed zone that eventually leads outside, beyond the walls of a school. What we are finding is that there is no one solution. Knowledge is a process that comes from critical thinking, investigation, and imagination. Essentially, solutions to problems that we face are only limited by our lack of creativity. Shouldn't our schools encourage the type of thinking that doesn't limit us to one path, to one solution, but instead allows us to explore unbounded? Maybe we have two lines. What is it? It is a pathway, connection, investigation, imagination, exploration, a journey. Now we begin to engage the lines, interrupting this journey. What is it? We've created moments, places to focus, develop, engage, and learn. Look what we are left with. This is the space between. It is a break, a rest, to meditate and reset. Pause. Now let's apply the design tenets we've just developed. This should look familiar. Here we have walls and doors of a Cherry Creek Elementary School. Okay, let's remove these walls so we can create our journey, an opportunity for exploration. Let's define some of this space for moments, places where we can engage and focus. Between these moments is our pause. This is where we create sheltered opportunities to be introspective and reflect. See how these principles have driven a small intervention in an existing space? Just one of many possible solutions for an elementary or middle school. We have activated the corridor. It has become not just a path of travel from A to B, but a journey that allows for exploration and investigation. We have moments where focused learning and teaching can occur. We have opportunities to pause and relax. Okay, let's do it again. But this time, let's create something new. Something that has a bit more definition. Perhaps a new Cherry Creek High School. Here, we can develop our own boundaries to create our pathway, our journey. At the perimeter, we have moments that interrupt our journey. And now we pause and are left with the space between. See how these principles have driven a larger concept and design? Just one of many possible solutions. We have activated the corridor. It has become more than a path of travel from A to B, but a journey where the lab is the pathway, where exploration and investigation are actively experienced by traveling through it, above it, around it. We have moments that interrupt our journey, where focused learning and teaching is adjacent to and supplemental to the hands-on learning surrounding it. We have spaces where passions are honed. Again, we are allowed to pause. This is where the building breathes. Here light, air, and plants penetrate. This is when the focus breaks and the mind is allowed to reset. In the continually shifting needs of a 21st century learning environment, how do we design spaces that allow for innovation? We develop a pathway that becomes our collaborative journey. We create moments to focus and learn. We pause to calm our minds in the space between. This is not the conclusion, but the jumping off point.